go along to the communications tab, and you've got a few things you can control here. So notifications, you can control how notifications come in via LinkedIn itself, via email, and by push notification on your device. You can decide who can actually reach you, so who is able to connect you beyond, in your network, and who can send messages and research invites. So if we look into who can connect, you can have everybody, only people who know your email address, only people who appear in your imported contacts list. So when you import your contacts from, say you've got an address book on your Mac or Outlook or whatever tool you're using, it's almost like you're pre-qualifying people. Anybody else, it's a no. If you select this option, people must have your email address or be in your list. So it just means you're less likely to have connection requests from strangers and randoms. And then you've got everybody. So it depends on how you're doing business and what your objective is. If you're not looking to build a network of people and you want to keep it quite tight, then the middle option might be for you. But generally you want to have everybody if you're looking to build your connections, because you can always say no. Invitations from your network. So you can have invitations to follow pages and for be invited to events. So if you're getting too many people asking you to follow their page, you turn it off as a blanket. If you're getting too many event invitations, once again, you can turn it off as a blanket. I've got mine on because I don't want to not allow someone, because I can always ignore and say no to them. Messages. So I've got premium, and with premium comes in-mail and open profile messages. So you've got the first option here, enable message request notifications. That's a general feature. But I've turned off the ability for people to send me in-mails now, because I'm getting a fair few of those spammy type of in-mails. And open profile messages, this is for people that aren't a premium member. It allows them to send me a message without us being connected. So I've always had that turned on because I'm a social person. But because of the amount of spam and scammy type messages I'm getting from desperate and dateless type people looking for love, I've turned that off because just to take control. And I'm finding I'm getting a lot less dodgy messages because that's where they're coming in. So you can control the messages in here as well. Research invites, this comes from LinkedIn. So when they're researching, do you want them to contact you or not? You can control that. Read receipts and typing indicators. So when you're in the messaging area, as soon as you read a message, it will tell the person it's been read. And when you're typing a response, you've got that little indication. It's across many platforms. So you can turn that off if you don't want someone to see as a blanket rule whether you've read it. Because often, if you're like me, I might be reading a message, but I'm not ready to answer it at that point. I've consumed it and I'm going to come back to it later. So by having it on, the person knows I've read it. And as teenagers like to say, you don't want to be left someone on read, meaning you've read it but you haven't responded, because people might read into that something that's not there. Generally, it's because I just haven't come back to it and I'm not in the headspace. So you can turn that off, which I've done here. Then we've got reply suggestions on messages as well. So underneath the bottom of the message, it has a few options from using artificial intelligence as to what you might say. Sometimes they're useful and you can click it and it saves you typing the thing because you would have said it anyway. Sometimes they're a bit random. So having it on is something you can do. You can turn it off if it's completely off and annoying. So there you go. So that's a communications area. Go into it in detail and work out, particularly these areas at the top, what kind of notifications you're getting on LinkedIn via email and by push notification, just so you're not getting too much, because one of the complaints people have is too many emails from LinkedIn or too many whatever. So make sure everything is relevant. So, do you want notifications on all these different things here, and go into the details. So there you go, the communications area of LinkedIn, quite useful, and have a look yourself and fine tune your settings.